I don't know what it is about Armored Core 6, but there seems to be a small yet very vocal group of people that want nothing more than to see this game fail. In my last video, I went over some of the bad reviews that I had found on Steam and elsewhere on the internet, and while doing my research, there was one thing that I had seen mentioned over and over again, and that is that Armored Core is doomed to fail because it was released after the mega success that is Baldur's Gate 3 and before the monolithic Bethesda game that we know as Starfield, which is looking to just be another Bethesda game. Take that how you will. And after hearing that so much, I was able to come up with 3 reasons why From Software and Bandai Namco have absolutely no worries when it comes to competing with Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. The first, and I think most obvious reason, is these games aren't even the same genre. As Jules from Pulp Fiction would say, it's not even the same ballpark. For example, Israel Adesanya doesn't worry about LeBron James. They don't play the same sport. It doesn't matter at all if one is doing good and the other one's doing good. It's totally separate from the equation. You see, Armored Core 6 is a bona fide third-person mech action game. The foundation that it is built upon is skill-based, challenging, and engaging gameplay, deep mech customization that ends up leading you to dual Zimmermans and Songbirds, and a dark and mysterious setting and tone that only From Software can bring to their games. Simply put, the people that go to Armored Core 6 for its gaming experience are not really the same people that are going to Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield to have dialogue trees and looking at stone-faced weird NPCs and experiencing hundreds of dead planets. Just kidding. I'm being a little cynical. I'm sure Starfield's fun. However, the point stands. Baldur's Gate 3 is a turn-based Dungeons & Dragons style RPG, and though it's had a ton of critical acclaim, the group of people that it attracts to the game is really not the same group of people that are being attracted to Armored Core. Same thing with Starfield. It's a Bethesda-style Western RPG with, let's face it, not the most engaging minute-to-minute gameplay, yet possibly a rewarding and fun storyline and RPG experience nonetheless. Now, is there overlap between Armored Core 6 and those games? Of course there is. Armored Core 6 has reached a broader audience than any other Armored Core game in the past. More and more people that would have never experienced a game like this are trying it out for the first time. And some of those people are also going to be playing Starfield and Baldur's Gate. Of course there'll be cross-pollination. However, the people that will leave to play those other games are not the people that From Software are going to be banking on. And that leads into my second point. However, before we get to that, if you're enjoying the video so far, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. You guys absolutely blew up my last video, and I can't begin to express how grateful I am for that. So thank you. Anyways, back to the list. My second reason why From Software and Bandai Namco are not worried about Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield at all is because From Software has never relied on the mainstream audience to keep them afloat. From Software has built an extremely dedicated fan base that is there with them every step along the way. And to some people, these may just seem like fanboys that love everything they make, and all they can talk about is a 4K 60 frame per second Blue Point Bloodborne remake. But let's take a step back and remember that From Software built this fan base from the ground up. Armored Core was their bread and butter for over a decade, and what I've heard from my comment section alone is that this fan base is extremely dedicated and passionate, and the veterans go all the way back to those old PlayStation 1 games. However, during that era, From Software didn't build the megalithic fan base that they have today. That fan base was built primarily off the back of the Souls games, and even that journey was long and arduous. You see, Demon's Souls was dead on arrival. That game had a messy, tumultuous development cycle, and From Software had very little faith in the game. And after its commercial failure on release, it had seemed to have achieved its final destiny. But deep in the underbelly of the gaming community, a small group of masochists ended up finding this strange niche experience. And through word of mouth, they were able to tell more and more sickos just like them about this little game called Demon's Souls. And slowly but surely, that fan base kept building over each release. Dark Souls, not really with Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. You know, the Elden Ring that won every Game of the Year award imaginable and sold a bazillion gazillion copies in like 2 days. That success was achieved through slow and steady growth with a very passionate fan base. From Software will never need to rely on the mainstream. The mainstream will come to them because they are creating one-of-a-kind, unique gaming experiences. And that brings me to my third and final point, and that is that not all gamers suffer from debilitating FOMO, or the fear of missing out. You see, I've noticed there's 2 different types of gamers in this world. There's the gamers that are the flavor of the month type gamers that are playing whatever's new, giving it one solid playthrough, if that, and then moving on to the next one, whatever that may be. And honestly, there's no problem in that. That's totally cool. Variety is the spice of life. But then there's the other section of gamers that I kind of fall into, and that is gamers that truly know exactly what they want to play. We know what we like and we stick with it. If a new game comes out within those genres, absolutely, we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna play it day one. For me, the games that fall into the day one must plays are games from Software, or any Resident Evil game when it comes out, or maybe like Ken Levine's next immersive sim. Those games I know I want to play. I'm gonna play them day one when they come out. However, most other games, I'll get around to them when I do. You see, most of us have jobs, families, and lives outside of gaming, and we can't just play 70 hours of the newest game that just came out this week just because it's the newest flavor of the month. We need to pick and choose wisely what we dedicate our time to. It's very valuable. So when there's no new releases for me that I want to play, I might go explore some of the other games that I was kind of moderately curious about, or I might just go and play another run of Fallout New Vegas. Who knows? I just like to play games that are fun to me. Armored Core 6 is extremely fun to me, so I'm not gonna just drop everything and go play Starfield just because it came out today, because I know I'm not gonna have as much fun with that game. Will I play Starfield eventually? Of course. I definitely want to check it out and see what it's about, but I'm gonna take my time playing a game that I'm definitely enjoying right now. I think a lot of people fall into the same exact category that I'm in. We'll get around to playing Starfield or Baldur's Gate whenever we feel like it, if we feel like it. And when we're done playing those games, we'll just end up coming back to a From Software game to do a New Game Plus run, because why not? These are the games that keep on giving. You can come back year after year after year and have a great time all over again. And that's what I plan on doing. But what I would like to know is if you thought I was completely wrong. Do you think that Armored Core 6 is doomed because of Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield? And was I completely wrong throughout this entire video? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.